Top news of the hour. News number 1. Zelensky's bold call-out. What he really wants from the US and EU during Ukraine's election. In a recent interview, President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine expressed his belief that it is possible to hold elections in the country even under martial law. However, he emphasized the importance of guaranteeing the right to vote for all citizens, including military personnel and forced migrants abroad. Zelensky's insightful remarks shed light on the complexities surrounding electoral processes in times of conflict, urging for international support in overcoming these challenges. Zelensky made a compelling argument that denying the opportunity to vote to those who are actively defending democracy within the country is unjust. By ensuring that the military has the ability to participate in the electoral process, Ukraine can strive for a more inclusive democracy that unifies its people. The president's concern for a legitimate choice resonates with the need to prevent further division within society. Another critical aspect raised by Zelensky is the issue of funding. He advocated for financial support from the United States and Europe to organize and hold the elections, as relying solely on internal resources could impede the integrity of the process. By securing such assistance, Ukraine can ensure that the electoral process is transparent and reflects the true will of its citizens. The presence of foreign observers at polling stations was identified as a crucial measure to enhance legitimacy, both domestically and internationally. Zelensky's proposal to have observers stationed in the front lines denotes the importance of capturing genuine voter sentiment in conflict-affected areas. He rightly emphasized the need for fairness and transparency in all stages of the election, including the presence of international monitors. Furthermore, President Zelensky acknowledged the significant number of Ukrainians living abroad, particularly in the European Union, and the logistical challenges regarding their voting rights. He emphasized the necessity of opening polling stations in EU countries to provide appropriate opportunities for these citizens. Zelensky's appeal for assistance from Europe is not only a pragmatic solution, but also underscores the shared responsibility of ensuring every Ukrainian's right to vote. It is evident that President Zelensky is not clinging to power, but instead prioritizes the democratic aspirations of this country. He genuinely seeks to hold elections that encompass all citizens while maintaining the integrity of the process. By openly discussing the challenges and potential solutions, he encourages transparency and invites others to contribute to the discourse. The issues addressed by Zelensky prompt viewers to reflect on their own opinions regarding the feasibility and ethical considerations of holding elections under martial law during times of conflict. What are the potential risks and benefits? Could a shared responsibility between the United States, Europe, and Ukraine effectively address these challenges? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. In conclusion, Volodymyr Zelensky's interview highlights the necessity of ensuring the right to vote in Ukraine, even amidst the challenges of the ongoing war. His appeal for financial support, the need for foreign observers, and the logistical considerations for citizens abroad all illustrate the shared responsibility in safeguarding the democratic process. Zelensky's openness to dialogue and his dedication to addressing these complexities deserve admiration and support. News number 2. U.S. double game exposed? The mystery behind campaigning against both Russia and China. The Center for a New American Security, CNAS, recently released a report urging the United States to clarify its stance on countering aggression from both Russia and China. The current U.S. forces approach is deemed insufficient to deter these nuclear-armed adversaries simultaneously. In this analysis, we will delve into the CNAS report titled Campaign of Denial, Strengthening Simultaneous Deterrence in the Indo-Pacific and Europe, and provide an opinionated standpoint on the matter. The CNAS report presents a compelling argument for the U.S. to adopt a new framework that aligns military efforts with warfare principles. By enhancing deterrence through denial and effectively reacting to the threats posed by Russia and China, the U.S. can maintain a favorable balance of power in both the Indo-Pacific and Europe. It is paramount for the U.S. to meet its extended deterrence commitments to uphold its global security responsibilities. However, the report highlights the current lack of readiness to simultaneously address the challenges posed by China and Russia. To bridge this gap, The report suggests a more structured approach that intertwines peacetime deterrence with wartime tactics, ultimately enhancing capabilities, posture, and activities. The CNA's report details specific campaign strategies to safeguard critical regions like Taiwan and the Baltic states. These approaches outline how the U.S. can bolster military posture and actions in these areas, ensuring a seamless transition from deterrence to battle if necessary. Additionally, the report explores the advantages and disadvantages of adopting the two-theater deterrent approach. To fortify its military capabilities, the report emphasizes investment in forces and the deployment of next-generation capabilities in regions directly affected by Chinese threats. It singles out Australia, the Philippines, and Japan as potential locations to establish new U.S. bases or expand existing ones. Moreover, the report suggests seeking contingency access to Sweden and Finland, thereby challenging Russia within the borders of NATO's newest members. The authors propose integrating trainings and exercises to deploy forces to high-risk regions during periods of heightened aggression. This dual-purpose approach not only enhances readiness but also serves as a deterrent by showcasing U.S. preparation for potential conflicts. The report also recommends stockpiling critical supplies and munitions in Europe and the Indo-Pacific, further signaling preparedness for prolonged conflicts. In conclusion, the CNA's report provides a comprehensive analysis of the challenges facing the U.S. in countering both Russia and China simultaneously. By connecting military campaign efforts to warfare principles and adopting the more proactive approach to deterrence, the U.S. can better maintain a favorable balance of power. We invite viewers to offer their insights on this topic. Do you believe that the U.S. should prioritize simultaneous deterrence against both Russia and China? How can the U.S. effectively implement the campaign strategies proposed in the CNA's report? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. News number 3. Drama in Niger. Countdown to French envoy's exit creates chaos. Thousands took to the streets of Niger to express their support for the recent coup that ousted President Mohamed Bazoum and demanded the departure of French troops. The French military, with 1,500 soldiers based in Niger, had been aiding Bazoum in combating the jihadist presence in the country. However, tensions escalated when the military officers toppled the president. The demonstration near the French military base in Niamey symbolized the growing frustration with former colonial power France and its perceived interference in Niger's affairs. The National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland, CNSP, led by General Abdourahmane Tiani, currently holds President Bazoum and his family under detention at the presidential palace. The rally, organized by groups in support of the new rulers, began at dawn near the Niamey airport, close to the French military base. Protesters voiced their discontent, citing reasons such as economic dependence and a perceived refusal by France to respect Niger's sovereignty. Their demands for the withdrawal of French troops were prominent throughout the protest. The strained Franco-Nigerian relationship has reached a critical juncture, as demonstrated through escalating tensions, anti-France sentiment, and mounting protests. The recent ultimatum given to the French ambassador, Sylvain It, to leave the country within 48 hours by Niger's foreign ministry exemplifies the deteriorating ties. This ultimatum was issued due to France's refusal to meet with the new rulers and actions that were perceived as contrary to Niger's interests. France, however, has refused to comply with the demand and maintains that the legitimate government of Bazoum remains in power. Paris rejects the authority of the military-led regime to make such requests. Additionally, France's support for the reinstatement of President Bazoum, backed by the West African bloc ECOWAS, further complicates the situation. Moreover, ECOWAS has imposed sanctions on the new regime and has threatened to use military action if the current rulers do not relinquish power to Bazoum. In this context, France finds itself in a delicate position, torn between supporting the democratic principles upheld by ECOWAS and preserving its influence and military presence in the region. Niger's situation bears similarities to past instances where post-colonial relationships have soured due to perceived interference by former colonial powers. It mirrors the tensions seen in many African countries where anti-colonial sentiments persist even decades after independence. France's continued military presence in Niger, despite assisting the government in combating jihadist forces, is seen by some as an infringement on sovereignty. France's relationship with Niger becomes more complex considering the backdrop of wider geopolitical dynamics in the region. Foreign powers like Russia and the United States are also positioning themselves strategically in Africa, and their involvement in Niger's affairs adds an additional layer of complexity. These dynamics further complicate the resolution of the current crisis and necessitate careful navigation to ensure stability and respect for Niger's sovereignty. What are your thoughts on the rising tensions between Niger and France? Do you believe France's military presence in Niger is warranted, or do you support calls for their withdrawal? Share your opinion in the comments below.